What's up, everybody? It's been a long time since I've made a video. I've been trying to make a commitment, to share more videos, to create more videos, and of course, these are just videos just to share my thoughts on different topical things, and for the seven people. Six, seven. For the 6 or 7 people who watch these faithfully, I appreciate you. But if this does reach a larger audience one day, and the story of my life is being told, you can find it here. But this video, unlike many of my other videos, won't have a specific topic. It won't be topical. It's just, let's just say it's a welfare check, just a checkup, just to where life is at the moment. And if you want to give your own welfare check in the comments, feel free. I love to hear from folks, get different perspectives, just what's on everybody's mind. But a popularized saying is life be life, and man, I've been focused on my family, career, just different relationships, keeping an eye out what's going on in the world as best as I can, and just juggling all the balls. Pause. Why is that a thing? I don't know. But anyway, but it's just navigating all that stuff, man. Like I said, navigating career, navigating, economic forecasts and societal shifts and changes, and relationships in my life. Of course, the number one relationship, well, here on earth anyway, number one relationship is the relationship between me and my spouse. Making sure that stays as steady and on solid ground as possible. Then of course my children, having a high schooler and a near high schooler, so working things out with them as we continue to raise them and shape them to hopefully one day be sensible adults. And then having younger two who are elementary school age. So just navigating through all those waters. They're changing hormones and emotions, and coming upon the foundations of their thoughts and views of the world. Like I said, my younger two, hey, they just happy to be here still. Any chance to run and flip and jump, they take it. Relationships in my family, the ever evolving parent and child relationship, as an adult child, still maintaining that relationship with my parents, and recognizing, as your parents get older and their needs change, and kind of that dynamic shift from who nurtures who, and checking up on them, and ensuring their well-being, and friendship, relationships, as we continue to live and have different priorities in our life and different goals and objectives in our life, navigating those friendships. I'm currently, I currently reached a stage where, you recently turned 40. I don't know, something about benchmark birthdays, whether you're 18 or 21 or 25 or 30 or 40. I'm sure it happened again at 50, and whatever milestone birthdays after that, or ages after that, the same thought process and epiphanies that happen. But now that I'm 40, it's like, man, like, I'm big on reciprocity. What I give, I like to give it back, and so then you sit down and start evaluating all your friendships, and it happens in seasons, of course. Sometimes you're giving more than you're receiving, and sometimes it's the other way around. You need your friends more than they probably need you at the time. So, but as long as it's reciprocal, it balances out. And so just evaluating what's that balance, or are things balanced, in those different relationships. And then I've been heavily investing in my faith walk. Um, you know, caveat, I've always been a church boy. So it's not like I'm discovering faith for the first time, but I'm refining my faith, I guess I'll say. You know, like really get into what is this thing really about? What are the real expectations? How are we really supposed to walk out faith, to walk out our faith, and not the cliche stuff, not the just tradition stuff, not just the religion part of it. You know, you probably identify with different groups, but what is this really about? Like what's really biblical, or what's really instructed on how to carry it out, and not just, oh, that's just what we do, that's what my parents did, my grandparents did, all you know, this is what I saw when I was a kid. Well, you know, how in line is that? And so balancing all that, and then, you know, formulating my own views as far as my faith, and what different things mean and how they should be applied and the principles behind them. So I've been deep into that. And then when you have a family, you can't help but pay attention to, you know, the world around you, the economy around you. You know, you're trying to stave off ruin as best you can. You're trying to take advantage of opportunities as best you can, opportunities that make sense. You're trying to set yourself and your family up for the best possible outcomes. You know, whatever those outcomes are for you and yours, you know, that ought to be what you're striving for. And just making sure you're strong in all those areas. And so that's just that. And you know, even though I haven't been making videos, that doesn't mean I haven't had thoughts on topics. It's just, you know, if sometimes it's one of those, if I don't do it in the moment, it don't get done. And I'm like, oh shoot, I've been meaning to do that, and it don't get done. And then you look up and you got 3 months in between videos, and it's not on purpose. It's just, you know, you get so much in a routine. But you know, you, even with that though, for whatever it is you're trying to do, you do just have to be more intentional about it. I'm trying to be more intentional in my business ventures, in my career, more intentional in my household relationships, more intentional in those friendships that do mean something to me, past and present. You know, it's a few people from my past friendships, like strong friendships, I've reached out to. You know, I haven't talked to in a while. Some since I was a kid, a few since I was in college. And for the time, they were impactful friendships. I mean, didn't go a day or too many days without touching. And friendships, sometimes friendships, there are friendships of convenience. You just happen to be in the same space at the same time. You have to be doing the same thing at the same time. So that's the commonality of the friendship. And once you take away that time and place, you know, but there have been some friendships throughout my life that were that impactful to me that you know, if a spark can be reignited, I would love to do so. So that's just where I've been, man. Just in my mind, having a more complete and meaningful life. You know, when it's all said and done, I want to have lived this thing. You know, have impactful relationships, not just a revolving door of folks I knew or used to know, or, you know, I remember when, and that was 25 years ago. And now I'm 40. 25 years ago is a real thing. Like, that was legit 25 years ago. And it's wild and crazy and scary at the same time. Like, time waits for nobody. And before you know it, something was legit 25 years ago. Like, I started high school 25 years ago. So there are people who I lost contact with after 8th grade 25 years ago. I knew you 25 years ago. I've legit have not seen you in 25 years. That's wild to me. But, you know, I'm thankful to have continued living. I'll say that, you know, so it's not wrong with continuing to live, but it's still wild, crazy, and scary at the same time. But yeah, that's my welfare check. I would love to hear some of you guys' welfare check. As always, stay positive, keep moving, you know, just do good, seek God, man. You know, wherever your faith whatever your faith aligns with, just from my perspective, man, seek God. And in seeking God, all will be revealed to you. Your path, how you should conduct yourself along your path, all that would be revealed to you, and you'll look up and you'll find yourself exactly where you need to be exactly who you need to be. So, with love, with grace, with thankfulness, living in mercy, and walking in forgiveness, I wish you all well.